I've seen way worse in Italy.
You're still listening. This is our final transmission.
Here it's the Final Transmission podcast. I'm Sam Russo. Here's Jamie Carruthers. Let's talk about a horror film.
Yeah, it's another episode. It's another horror film. It's another, I think, a fairly unpleasant experience. The film, not the podcast, obviously.
Well, both, hopefully.
Yeah, we are talking about a movie from 2022 that I've seen 1.5 times.
Okay, must know more.
It's The Coffee Table. It's a Spanish movie directed by Kaya Casas.
Got a good ring to it.
It is 89 minutes. It is a horrible time. I picked this for us to cover because friend of the pod, director of that fucking Cops Go to Hell movie. Do you remember that one?
No.
Turkish Cops Go to Hell.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
you had me thinking of actual friends of the pod.
No.
Cops Go to Hell was great.
Can Evrenol, he has recently remade this. I think it's going to be coming out this year, and apparently it's just like a more intense version of this, but it's going to be in Turkish.
Oh, good.
So we can talk about that and concept of making this more intense at some point in the future. But this is an intense film. The reason I've seen it 1.5 times is the first time I tried to watch it, I got to a point where I was so anxious and stressed that I just stopped it and went for a walk.
It takes an enormous amount of anxiety and stress for you to do that.
Yeah, this happened once before. I'm sure we've talked about it when I was watching The Woodsman with Kevin Bacon. Yeah. I wasn't with him. He's in the movie. And he wasn't there.
It's starting to make it sound like you're hiding the fact that you watched The Woodsman with Kevin Bacon.
we were in the woods and there was a small child. No, so he's in the woods and there was a small child and it's like, oh God, what's going to happen? And like, what happens or doesn't happen. But I paused it at the point where it was so stressful and I had to just go out. And it was the same with this. I just got to the point where I was so incredibly stressed by the events of this movie. And we'll talk about how the stress dissipates towards the end in some satisfying and maybe not satisfying ways. But like in the build up of this movie, it's so stressful. I would be confident in saying that you had never heard of this before.
True.
But I would not be confident in saying what I think your opinion is. So please tell me.
First of all, the first time I watched The Woodsman, I watched it with my friend Billy. And for some reason, I would not stop calling him Willie the Woodsman for weeks after watching that film, to the point where he punched me really hard in the neck. Sorry, Billy. It was a different time. So The Coffee Table, I think the only way this could be improved is if it was Turkish and more intense. I'm still digesting. I watched it yesterday. I've had a long time to roll it over. I love the production. I think it's a very close, intimate, tiny film that does an enormous amount with not very much, which I love. It's got some very strange moments, some strange elements to it that I really enjoy. I do love a Spanish movie. I love a bit of Spanish language cinema. Yeah. Much respect. I can't say that it was a front to back, nuts to butts, rip roaring success. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it.
I feel like this isn't meant to be a movie to enjoy. It's meant to be an experience that you sort of sit in for 90 minutes.
Suffer through it,
and then it's over. And the director is on record as saying like he basically wanted this to be a film that you remember, like an experience that you remember sitting through. And I think that he's successful in that, but
I don't know. I'm going to have weird takes on this.
Like I say, we'll discuss the ending later. And if you haven't seen The Coffee Table, I would really recommend going in with as little foreknowledge as possible.
Yeah,
because I think the way that the events unfold are I think the most interesting thing about the movie, and if you know basically anything about what happens, it's kind of a ruiner. So we're not going to get to spoilers just yet, but I'm saying this now because any amount of discussion I think is more than you should hear before watching this.
I think I agree. Yeah, there's a small amount you can say without giving too much away. I really, I don't know. I really enjoy the place that this is set. I'm not sure where it is. Do you know if it's set in a specific place for any kind of specific reason? You're not really told, are you, outright? But it's it's such a. Go on.
They shot it just in his friend's apartment.
Yeah.
It was shot for like I don't know what the Spanish equivalent of like $30,000 is, but like it's a really cheap production. They shot it over 10 days. It's all shot just in a place. And like I completely agree with like what you're saying about how like the production of it, it's all it oscillates between like very intensely close up stuff and then like peeking through a cracked door. So like I think that really drives the anxiety of it, is like you're either right in this guy's business or you're perving on him as he goes through this intense situation.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not going to win any prizes for cinematography, like for beautiful cinematography, but it's really like deliberate and clever use of cinematography to drive
I totally agree.
The feeling of the movie.
Yeah, it's not the case that you're seeing incredible scenery and beautiful lighting, and you're located in maybe like 2 or 3, very close quarters locations throughout, and you can tell that it's shot specifically to maximize that, which I think there's a real sort of hard working element to this movie where they're making every single shot count and every angle work and every aspect of the performance is tied to the shooting, and I think it makes an enormous amount out of its very small, tight frame. Like you, Jamie. So I enjoy lots of aspects of the visuals in this, and the sense of place is really rich. It doesn't. I was a little bit worried we were just going to get like generic budget-friendly Spain, but this feels like a real place. The apartment obviously is a real lived-in place. The shop that they go to, the places that they inhabit, feel very real, and it's a side of Spanish life that I haven't seen an enormous amount of in movies, which is just everyday people living everyday lives, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I mean, this happens every day, right? The plot of this movie.
Well, I mean, God, I hope not. My first question before we get into any sort of spoilers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a synopsis, and then I'm going to ask you this question. So the synopsis, and this is the spoiler-free synopsis, is a couple with a newborn baby go to buy a coffee table. They argue about the coffee table. They buy a coffee table that one of them likes and one of them doesn't like. They take it home, and it ruins their lives.
Right.
And that's all you can say.
Yeah.
What do you think of the coffee table, the actual coffee table? It's fucking disgusting, right? Why would anyone have that?
I've seen way worse in Italy.
Well, yeah, of course.
It doesn't look insane to me. Like I've seen a lot of Mediterranean living spaces where you've got a beautiful space and a wonderful, sort of fairly coherent decor situation. And then there's this one thing and you're just like, why the fuck is there a giant gold Cupid in the middle of this room? Like, I think there's a Mediterranean sensibility that it leans towards the occasional ridiculous, ostentatious object in the center of an otherwise beautiful space. So I don't see it as incongruous to the situation. I think it is a grim coffee table. I don't really like glass coffee tables generally.
No,
I don't really like furniture that doesn't involve any wood. So I don't know, slightly. I was interested to see if there was any meaning in the actual like shape or construction of the table, but I don't think there is.
No, I think it's just an ugly. I think it's a coffee table that is a very specific choice, a taste choice that means that like one person could like it and one person could easily not like it. The opening scene I find really funny.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah.
I really enjoy how funny it is because to sort of put you in this sort of comedic tone immediately, and then you have to keep remembering throughout the rest of the movie, this is a comedy. This situation is quote unquote funny.
I don't. Maybe there's a big part of my takes here that are going to involve me not really getting the movie because I didn't find weirdly, I didn't find the tension as tense as it's obviously supposed to be, or as horrific as it's supposed to be. And I also didn't find the comedy particularly funny, but I still enjoyed it. So there's something happening here that's doing it for me, but it's not necessarily the things that maybe are supposed to be happening. I don't know. I enjoyed all of the interplay between characters. I think there's a real acute sense of human relationships here.
Yeah.
And it's used really well. You know, the husband and wife relationship is very real. The fucking salesman and the husband have a very funny interplay with the wife. There's a lot going on interpersonally. The brother, the girlfriend, all of that stuff felt totally natural, to be honest.
Yeah, it Maybe almost feels like there isn't a script. I mean, there definitely must be a script because this didn't just happen.
Yeah.
But like...
yeah. Maybe I wonder if this could have been a short film.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of really low budget shorts that are shot in this way, and they convey a huge amount of intensity in a really short period of time. I remember we shot one once. Me, Jules, and Woody made this little like human trafficking movie that was very short, maybe like 2-3 minutes for the Virgin
documentary
about my first
weekend exploits. Yeah.
I mean, everyone has 2 careers by the time they're in their 40s, right? So yeah, it was a bit of a retrospective of my earlier work. But we did it for the Virgin Media Shorts competition, and there was all kinds of like restrictions. We obviously had zero budget, no money.
Is that the one where it ends with you on a phone call?
Yeah.
So I remember that. Yeah.
That must have been because I had no real say in anything that happened in that, except I was allowed to be in it. But there was loads of entries that year that were like that were like this, that were really close, tight, intimate, grainy, naughty, kind of gross themes and shit. And I think it was maybe a thing for a 5-year period where that's the kind of movie everyone was making because cameras were suddenly a bit cheaper and it was more accessible to make a movie like that. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me just thought, does this need a feature-length narrative, even if it is a short film? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
So I think the length is okay. I think it's maybe 10 or 15 minutes too long. I spent a long time trying to figure out what I would cut out.
Yeah.
And because like, obviously every scene goes on too long because it wants you to marinate in the horror of the situation and the choices that people are making and the little bits of information that they're teasing out. And I've sort of decided what I think I would cut out is the subplot with the 13-year-old neighbor. I think
that could go.
I think that like that's in there just to like add a layer of tension because obviously that thing is it's also a different flavor of stress that sort of sits on top of the rest of the movie. But I was like, maybe that's not necessary.
Yeah, I think it's either that or lots more of those. I think if you're going to make it really funny and really tense, you don't just need like this one enormous tension, the central tension, and then this like side, this bird kind of pecking at the side of your head the whole time. You need like 4 or 5 Fawlty Towers style things going on to make it really funny, or you need none of that and you just need a straight up tense as fuck horror film with some dark comedic elements. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about the Spanish sense of humor to really understand how funny this is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite funny.
Yeah.
Like, I think situationally, like, it's not funny and it's funny because it's like a thing happens and how do you move forward with that? One thing you can do is what this character does, and it is obviously the wrong decision.
It's an option.
let's get into spoilers now so we can like talk about this in some depth, right?
Okay, here's the spoiler horn. Spoilers.
Oh shit. I guess that's why they call it Phantom Power.
So
you tell them.
Well, I want to before I sort of nail it down. Let's say you broke Claire's favorite gluten-free mug or whatever. Like,
what did she say? Sorry, her favorite gluten-free
mug.
Mug.
Like, I want to start off low and sort of work up. Like,
okay, come on in.
Do you immediately just go to her and be like, I'm so sorry I broke your mug? Or do you like hoover up all the pieces, sweep up the big chunks and put it in the bin and hope she doesn't notice?
I always tell her when I break something because I quite often break wine glasses. So she has a whole set of really nice wine glasses and a couple of ones without stems. And I have broken all of the above in the past. And I always tell her straight away, and I always try and atone for it somehow. If I break a mug, like stuff I break, I normally can fix. Like I broke a mirror the other day and I fixed it.
Nice.
And I got a replacement.
You can't fix a decapitated baby.
That's exactly my point. My point is, my go-to gear is confess and repair. I don't think even I could get a head back on a baby.
No. Especially if you can't bring yourself to grab it from under the chair.
Exactly. But the funny thing to do in this movie would be to PT that baby and tape it on, pretty bird, and then put it back in the bed. That would be funnier. Leave the head under the chair didn't make sense to me, really. But yeah.
I guess like not being able
to pick up your dead baby's head, that's understandable.
Yeah. And like I like the telltale heart element of that.
True.
I feel like they could play that up a bit more. I feel like there could be more of that.
Yeah. It wasn't immediately obvious to me that that's what was happening. You're right. Yeah. It could have been played up a little bit more. No, I would always confess to a breakage of that nature. My father, however, texts me regularly. Where did you get mum this insert object? Recently it was a vase. Where did you get mum this vase? I may have broken it and need to replace it. And I was like, in Spain from a small craft person on a street. He's like, fuck. And he's discovered the Chrome thing where you can identify shit. And he takes a picture of the vase and he's like, is this close enough? And it'll be like half the size, completely wrong on Amazon. I'll be like, no, Dad, it's not. You're going to have to own up. But he'll still try and replace the object and not get caught. So maybe it's a generational thing.
Where did you get Sonny's newborn child from?
It's weird, right? They have really weak necks when it comes to glass, right? I don't know, Dad. Well, I'm just wondering, do you know anyone who sells these anywhere nearby? Yeah, I do, actually. I used to be in human trafficking. I could probably hook you up.
Yeah. The saddest short story ever, baby neck, never sliced.
I think it's safe to say the central tension of the film is very relatable because a lot of people would be like, I would immediately tell her. But then they go, ooh, but would I? It's really hard to tell someone you've decapitated your newborn baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I love how the way they ramp up the tension in the early part of the movie. Obviously, there's the whole comedic section at the beginning with the salesman. And I think that's just like to nail on a tone of like, this is meant to be funny. You're meant to be finding this funny. And then when the thing happens when he drops the baby onto the glass and it cuts the baby's head off, which you don't see. I think it's very economical with like dead baby stuff, which I do enjoy. I like that. I feel like we don't need to, I'm sure in the Can Never Know movie, we're going to see all kinds of flying
babies getting fucking turned
heads
inside out and it probably decapitates the baby with a ceiling fan or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's also the coffee table. So
it's called the ceiling fan.
But like, yeah, the way that it sort of nails on that and builds that central tension, like we see the baby get decapitated and then it cuts to, well, we don't see it, but we see the scene in which the baby gets decapitated and then it cuts to his wife talking to like an old friend at the supermarket and she just like casually mentions that they went through IVF for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard to get pregnant. And it's like that stuff, like the way it teases that out is so clever.
Yeah,
and well, not clever, but like
it's good so narrative, isn't it? Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
I mean, there's also the sort of added layer of tension that it's implied in that first exchange with the salesperson that he, not that he didn't want a kid, but he thought it was the wrong time. So there's this added layer of like, did you fucking behead our baby on purpose? He must be feeling like, fuck, I'm going to be under extra scrutiny here because I've said several times I don't think we should have a kid, and now we have 2 bits of a kid and I'm in big trouble. Yeah, I don't know. That was quite masterfully done. What?
2 bits of a kid and big trouble.
Certain markets would probably enjoy that. Yeah, I can't fault the movie for the way that it paints these 2 separate characters approaches, I guess, to parenting generally, to the role that they're inhabiting now as parents and their relationship. I think their relationship is great. I think the whole way through the movie they both feel like very real people. And I see no flaw in the way that relationship is depicted, really. I think it's excellent. It's just there's other elements of this movie that I think are just a little bit feels so wrong saying this, but underplayed. Like, I don't think that opening scene is particularly funny. I think it's a good set piece human interaction between a slightly cheese dick salesman, a no bullshit wife, and a dad who wants to be somewhere else. And it does have comedic elements, but it's not like it's not telegraphing that I'm in a fucking knee slapper. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I think it's situationally like funny, and the interaction is quite. We don't get political on the Final Transmission podcast very much, but I find this guy reminds me of Trump a lot.
all salespeople all salespeople of this particular brand remind me of Trump. If you're trying to sell me something I don't really want or need, and you're doing so through obnoxious hyperbole and blatant lies, you remind me of Trump.
Yeah, just like the coffee table is unbreakable. The glass will improve your life immeasurably. It doesn't.
Yeah. No, turns out not so much. And I did wonder if there was going to be an aspect to this when he shows up in person at the apartment. I did wonder if there was going to be a cursed coffee table situation here, if it was going to be a big reveal that this salesperson is like a genie type guy, and he shows up to ruin your life if you're living wrong or living in sin or something. But there wasn't any of that.
No, I think like
the guy looking for a friend.
It's sort of because I went into this movie not really knowing anything about it, and I really advocate that. I think that like it's very easy to make that assumption about it, and because it also the closeness of the story feels like a Stephen King short story.
Yes,
it's very easy to be like, well, Stephen King would write about a fucking spooky coffee table.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's the monkey, but like, it could be the monkey, but a coffee table.
Yeah,
and like. But it also feels like in the way it plays out, it feels quite Stephen King-y, and like also has an ending that I think lets out too much of the steam and lets you off the hook a little bit without. I've never been more relieved to see the decapitated head of a dead baby, because it just like immediately relieves all of the tension.
What?
Like, so the central tension of the movie is like the baby is dead.
Yeah.
And he's lying to everybody about the baby being alive. He's like, no, it's alive, really. It's alive, and it's in the next room, and it's not decapitated or whatever.
It's in a deep sleep.
And like, obviously the tension of that is we know the baby's dead and they don't know the baby's dead, and he's having all these intense and complex emotions and feelings about that. And then like, as soon as everybody knows that the baby is dead, there's no more tension, because the tension is the secret. Not, I mean, the baby being dead is also a net negative for these characters, but it's not. It's not like the central tension for me. It's the lie that is the central tension.
Yeah, you've known it's dead for fucking what feels like 300 years by this point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the reveal is the thing we're building up to, for sure. And it's really hard to criticize the level of tension building in good conscience here, but I do feel like it could be more intense. I see the scope for more intensity. I know I'm fucking around talking about the remake, but like, I genuinely do. And I think it's I think it's probably a strength of the film that it doesn't go to those lengths. I find it quite, for a fucking decapitated baby movie, it's quite tasteful.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's very economical with the dead baby. You see a lot of blood. You don't ever really see like a dangling torso, or like, and even when you see the head at the end, it's like in cupped hands. You just sort of see, like it could be a fucking ball from a ball pit. Like,
exactly, yeah. Like, I mean, this is a movie for a childless audience. I've seen so many movies with like violence and tragedy happening to children, and being of a certain age now, lots of my friends have kids, and they're all just like, I can't fucking even look at the cover of that movie. Like, if there's anything happening to kids in movies, a lot of people with kids can't bear it. I mean, get a grip. That'd be my first piece of advice. It's a movie, but it's a rough hang if you've got kids, I imagine, because it appeals to that. I mean, it's a rough hang if you haven't got kids. It just appeals to the idea that one tiny mistake, not even a mistake really, one accident, one change of wind, like anything could chop your baby's head off. And that's why I hate when people take babies to pubs, because all I can see is one guy tripping over with a glass in his hand.
Yeah.
And you've got a fucking Spanish movie about it all of a sudden. Like, all you have to do is turn around too quickly in the wrong spot in a pub, and your baby doesn't have a head anymore. Like, I really don't think babies should be in pubs. I'm going to go on record. Sorry,
I think they shouldn't be anywhere.
I agree. Don't put your baby in danger.
Because, like,
good parenting advice from a childless 40-year-old.
Yeah, two of them. I think that, like, the way that, I think what this movie is sort of saying, really, or my read on it is, like, basically anything that you do around a child could have intense consequences for everyone involved. And like, I mean, is there
even the 13-year-old girl subplot is like, if you don't behave incredibly responsibly around all young people, you can put something in their head accidentally, or feed a fire, or ruin someone's life just with like an offhand comment. Like, it's a huge responsibility to be around small humans. And it really piles on that pressure in this movie, not just with severed baby heads, but with like this side parallel story of this guy can't catch a break with kids, it seems.
No.
It's a real problem.
I think that's why that subplot is in there.
Yeah.
But like if there was 10 minutes I needed to cut out of this movie, it would be that. But I do think that you're right. It serves that purpose to reinforce the message that, like, anything that you do around a kid has potentially lasting consequences. Is there a Louis C.K. bit where he's like talking about him saying something to his child and like seeing it in their eyes and being like, oh, you're going to be talking about it in therapy for decades.
I mean, that is life around children. Like, for a childless man, I spent an enormous amount of my career working with children, and I can tell you have those moments on a weekly basis. And I think maybe the message of this movie, if there is one, is like, everything you do is going to fuck up a kid. Own up to it as soon as you can, and talk to them about it, and try not to behead them. That would be a pretty strong message for a Spanish movie. I'm
gonna come out on a limb here and say that I am anti beheading babies.
Yeah, for the most part, I would agree. But I do love the song "Beheaded" by The Offspring. I think it's superb. And if you want to know more about our thoughts and feelings about the early and later catalog offerings of The Offspring, you can join our Patreon for a paltry sum of money on the Patreon website. Do that now. Go on.
Yeah, patreon.com/final transmission. There's a moment in, like, so there are two lines that I really wanted to pull out from, like, the back end of this movie that I thought were worth discussing. So she says at one point, "Can this shitty day get any worse?" Yes, it can.
Yep.
But the thing that I thought was, again, really funny, but obviously very dark, is he's like recording his suicide note.
Yeah.
In the bathroom by himself. And he says, "Forget me if you can. You're her husband who went through 2 years of IVF, who decapitated your newborn baby." Like, no one's forgetting that.
You imagine you're at coffee one day, like 20 years later, and someone's like, "Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember that guy you married and went through IVF with for 2 years, and then he chopped off your baby's head by accident with a coffee table?" You'd be like, "Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about him in years."
Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing. He killed himself. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Just drawing on a cig, like, "Oh, Jesus, that's a name that I've not heard for years." Like,
yeah, we had a thing. He's the guy who beheaded our kid. Oh, fuck, of course. Yeah, love that. I mean, that is a truly moving sequence, I think, there. And this guy fucking rips. Nobody in this movie is coming in light with their performance. David Pereira, holy shit, what a performance. He's got a lot of heavy lifting to do here. I mean, I think Maria is phenomenal as well. What a laugh on her. Fucking hell, love. Time to cut back on the old nails.
Christina.
Oh, sorry, Christina. Yeah.
Yeah, Maria's the little girl.
Fucking hell. Crikey. Hell of a laugh on her. Claudia Riera.
Yeah.
This whole thing made me want to learn more Spanish, by the way. I love the Spanish language, and I really fucking soak it up.
It is nice. There's like a lot of like rural Spanish horror that I really like. Obviously, this is like suburban Spanish horror, but like there's a bunch of like rural Spanish horror. There's one called King of the Hill, I think, that I really...
I've heard
really
of King of the Hill. Dang old Boomhauer.
It's like a City Slickers go into the brush and stuff goes wrong.
I love that kind of movie. I love that central, concept. I would also love to watch City Slickers right now. That would be such a treat. Does it hold up?
I mean, I guess like it's so slight, City Slickers, that like it how's it going to not hold up? It's just about
city boys being cowboys. I remember it being a little bit greasy.
Oh yeah, it's definitely greasy. Like, isn't Daniel Stern's character having some sort of relationship with a youth
not
of some kind?
Not adult woman? Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if you had to recast City Slickers, who would you cast? Because it's subjectively not a strong trio.
So who is the central trio? We've got Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, and we've got
Bruno Kirby.
Bruno Kirby is he's the other guy. He's like the limo driver in Spinal Tap.
Yeah, you got to get rid of Bruno. Daniel Stern, I really want to like beyond Home Alone. Obviously, who doesn't? But he's not in much.
I love Bruno Kirby. Yeah. I think he's got one of those like all-time voices.
Great voice, yeah.
So
I don't love Billy Crystal,
Yeah.
Fuck me. So if you can recast it, by the way, across the ages. There's no restriction here that you stick to the era. Recreate your dream City Slickers.
Just 3 Nicolas Cages riding off into find Curly's gold or whatever.
Love it. I'm replacing Billy Crystal immediately and in almost every single movie ever with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, I like Billy Crystal, and I think that he did a lot of things that I do like.
Yeah.
But Keaton fills a very similar thing. Obviously, they both come from stand-up. They're both like not as famous for their stand-up as they are for their acting.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Keaton is a great shout. And Keaton could do it now. He could have done it then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm replacing Daniel Stern with either
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon. He is tall. Maybe Harold Ramis. I'm sticking to the era.
Okay.
Ramis, however you want to.
I believe it's Ramis.
Yeah, fair enough. There's an argument there that it could be what's his fucking cock? Do you want people from westerns or do you want people who give off city douchebag vibes?
I feel like Curly is your western character.
All right, I'm Judge Reinhold.
Yeah, Reinhold is a good shout.
Because I'm thinking Keaton chemistry. I'm going Reinhold and Keaton, and then I might just throw Tom Selleck in there to replace Bruno because he's
got a moustache.
Partly the moustache, but also you need some genuine handsome charisma in that role, and nobody's going to really argue with you that he's not handsome and charismatic.
Well, I think if we're taking Stern out of the mix, we need some Sticky Bandit representation. So I'm putting Pesci.
Pesci in there.
Because
great. Like
we've seen from
the Slick Bandits are back.
Yeah, we've seen from the fucking lawyer movie. What's that movie called? My Cousin Vinny. We've seen from My Cousin Vinny that he city slicker in a rural environment. He's perfect at that. So, and he also has one of the all-time great voices. So, and then who are you replacing? Who is it as Curly? Is it?
It's fucking Jack
is it Heston Charlton? Oh yeah, Palance. It makes more sense. Yeah.
I mean, Palance is hard to replace in that role. He's pretty genuinely spot on.
Surely Eastwood or John Wayne is like the only way you would improve on that.
Yeah, possibly.
And Eastwood is possibly too young in like the mid 80s to take that on.
Let's just throw Harry Dean Stanton in there to make it all wrong.
Okay.
Let's just do that.
Well, we did the City Slickers diatribe. We've ticked that off.
Yep,
I can cross that out of my notes now.
Good. Glad we finally addressed City Slickers.
So obviously, again, the central tension of this movie is that he's killed his baby, but
and
like
he's hiding it,
and he's hiding it. But like, imagine like the already awkward situation of a family dinner with your brother that you don't really like, who's a fuck up, and his 18-year-old girlfriend who he's just got pregnant.
Oy.
Like that's already that's a situation that I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
And then also like just ladle, you've killed your child on top of that.
The stakes are quite high for this dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
And your wife is laughing at you so hard the entire time because
you cut your hand
that you cut your hand on a coffee table. What she doesn't know is you also, in the process, cut off your child's head.
Yeah.
The guy stomachs so much to hide this dead baby situation.
It's, I think, an all-time great performance.
It's like, a win.
It's so good.
Huge win. It does become a little bit unrealistic. Like it starts to get to a point where you're just like, nobody would be able to hold this shit together. Like you would just break down after.
But he is breaking down.
20 minutes. He's breaking down. Yeah, he's a tough, stoic old bean.
Yeah, he's breaking down. He's drowning out. It's not funny like it is in The Coffee Table. To paraphrase Less Than Jake.
Excellent, great Less Than Jake reference in this baby decapitation movie. Yeah, it's there's not a lot that you can say about the particular flavor of the tension. The plot kind of tells you everything you need to know about how tense it is. I'm still torn between, is this the tasteful tension that I really actually need, or does it need to go completely nutsoid on the tension scale for it to really register for me? Maybe I'm a little bit desensitized to baby death tension. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I like the hallucinations on the baby monitor. I thought that was a horrible touch.
Yeah, like we grew up watching Gage get hit by a truck. So like, and like, that's obviously a very harrowing. I mean, anytime you watch a small child die, even if you don't see it happen, like it's always going to be
upsetting.
Yeah. And like, but we've seen that. We've seen the horror of that. I mean, we don't see him get like pancaked by the truck, but like we see the shoe rolling off into the road or whatever.
The slow motion scream.
Yeah, and that's a lot. I don't remember how that. It doesn't even happen in the remake, does it? Gage doesn't die.
No, but we also love Gage by that point. He's a very cute little kid, and the relationship is really warm and tender, and there's an enormous amount of love in the household, and we're sort of masterfully built up to Gage's death. Both in the book and the movie.
We've seen that, and we know that how harrowing that is. Yeah. And like, obviously, movies are fairly sparing with them murdering or the death of like very young infants.
Yeah, you don't see it often.
No, and if you do see it, it's generally in foreign movies. Where
or like genre-wise, it's not always just a horror thing, is it? Like babies died in a lot of like period drama to emphasize it, the historic happenings of the time. You get a lot of that in movies about olden times, but like facing infant mortality, accidental or otherwise in modern cinema, it's reserved for a pretty fucking tight niche.
Yeah. And so I think that like, rather than maybe desensitized, I think what I am is like, what's the word? Like disconnected from that, because it's just a thing that you can't think about.
Yeah. It's not a place that you want to be in a movie, is it? It's not like you think to yourself like, oh, I want a movie that's got a real fucking complicated romance, or I want a movie that's set in Texas. You never go, I want a movie where a baby gets decapitated.
Yeah. And like, I think when you're a parent, maybe it's a thing that you think about, a thing that you can't think about ever, but a thing that you also have to think about all the time.
Yeah.
And like
I never want to think about my baby being decapitated, but what happens if my baby gets decapitated?
Yeah. Like, I don't want to think about my baby being decapitated, but also I'm putting little rubber things on the corner of everything in the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
everything I own is so soft. just to mitigate the risk of decapitation. Yeah.
And
you're right. Like when you're putting a soft corner on a door, you're thinking of it smashing your baby's head, like by default. You don't want to think about it, but you have to.
And
so think about that when you take them to the pub, you fucking morons.
Exactly. Best case scenario is they're getting drunk, or do what my parents would do, and I assume your parents too, and all parents in the 90s, leave them in the car with a bag of crisps and the window cracked while you're inside the pub for many hours.
I was only allowed to go to pubs where there were beer gardens or big porches, and I've got a lot of memories of spending a lot of time outside running around beer gardens and on porches. Just as dangerous, maybe more so. But fuck, dude, the amount of times I just think, how many times have I tripped over in a pub? Quite a few. How many times have I kicked something without knowing what it was in a pub? Like, I don't want to accidentally kick a baby into a fire. No. I don't want that. Don't put me in a situation where I might do that.
Yeah. Goddamn babies.
Fucking babies, man. Too many.
But I agree. I mean, it would be, again, a bad thing to accidentally punt a child into a fire. I think you're
really
right.
Funny, though.
Babies are notoriously flammable.
Yeah, they really are. Wearing a lot of wool.
Yeah. So let's talk about the ending. Obviously, the big, like I said, the tension release for me is we relieve that tension of okay, there's no more secret. Everyone knows the baby is dead.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of percolate. There is a bit of a tea kettle thing going on here where the brother finds out and then it's like, oh, fuck, now everyone's going to, it's a nice build, I think. It's a weird sort of staccato build, but it kind of works.
I think it's great. And then the scene where now everybody knows that the baby is dead and we're holding the baby head and we're trying not to show it and people are seeing it and throwing up and going insane. I like it, but it doesn't land quite in the way that I think it wants to. And I think that's because, like I say, the tension for me has been removed by the lie being it's not a lie anymore.
It's like seeing the monster.
Yeah. It's like watching Jaws come out of the water, walk onto the beach and be like, you're coming with me, kid boy.
Get in my mouth.
Yeah. And then I think the suicide of the end, her suicide, I think is quite, what's the word? Tasteful.
Sure.
We see her standing on the balcony, we cut to a thing, and then we sort of slowly pan back to the balcony and she's gone. And we're like,
she's gone. Yeah.
We know. But I feel like we should at least see, or we should see more of Jesus's journey towards the balcony.
Yeah, I can't say that. I don't want to tell him how to make the fucking movie, but I was left in a slight ambiguity there.
Well, they say it cuts to the cops and it's like,
oh yeah, it's resolved.
Yeah, but
but why don't we? I do wonder why we don't see that. Is it like the focus has to be on her for this moment, and he's kind of peripheral for that one moment where he's very central for the rest of the movie? I don't really understand the decision. I don't hate it, but maybe it is to create that slight ambiguity that they then,
because part of my brain was like, oh, is he gonna let her take the fall? Not
no pun intended.
No pun intended. But is he gonna let her take the fall for this, and then he gets to just sort of carry on living with the knowledge of what he's done, but it doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't have to go to prison or whatever happens when you accidentally decapitate a baby.
Yeah.
I mean, the prison of your own brain, as this movie sort of quite deftly explores, is arguably worse. But no, he just sort of jumps off the balcony.
Yeah. I didn't feel robbed by that. I thought somehow they were all going to die, to be honest. I think it's a good resolution that both the parents end up dead. The brother obviously ends up insane. We don't really know what happens to the 18-year-old pregnant girlfriend.
No. I mean, again, her being pregnant or not again, but her being pregnant is like a choice that they've made, similar to like the 13-year-old neighbor girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, everyone is so completely fucked up by what's happened.
Yeah.
It's I don't hate the ending. I just sort of feel like it's sort of, like I say, it sucks the tension out of it when the lie isn't a thing anymore, and then the stuff happens. It just sort of feels like, I mean, the ending that it's ramping up to. There's only one way this could end, right? And that's by there being the characters finding out the thing that they're not supposed to know yet.
Yeah.
Like it can, but you never really know how it's going to play out, and that's like the clever thing about this movie is that like there's only one ending, and you just don't know you don't know how you're going to get there.
Yeah, that's what keeps you in it, I think. And you sort of know that you're limited in scope to the fact they're probably not leaving this apartment again. It's all going down here. Yeah. Which again just makes you feel so like such close quarters for this to be happening. That baby is like 10 feet away at all times. At most, like the other bit of it's even closer. I also liked when they revealed that the brother and the girlfriend were pregnant. I thought that was going to be a moment where he was just going to button up and be like, "Oh, it's so wonderful, good for you," and we were going to get more of that like nauseating, hiding everything tension. But I love that he was like, "Fuck you, that's gross."
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed that response. He's starting to spray and crack.
It's like another mistake in a long line of mistakes, and you're going to fuck up her life. Like,
yeah, pretty good, pretty solid. I didn't see that coming as a pretty hard hairpin turn to go at his brother like that. I thought that was very cool. I also wanted to ask you what you think of the sort of series of close-up shots of all the toys, because there's a bit of a break in the sort of style of cinematography to do that. It doesn't feel like it's as in keeping with the rest of the movie necessarily. Did you enjoy that? What were your thoughts?
Like in the new room, in Kayatanen's new room.
Yeah, you get Big Bird.
All of his toys from when he was a kid. I mean, I enjoyed that on multiple levels because the toys that he had are fucking great.
Yeah.
I would love a My Pet Monster with the cuffs. They're like impossible to find. And if you do find them, they're like hundreds of pounds.
Yeah.
So like, I loved all of that stuff.
I thought the shots were pretty wonderful. Like,
yeah, but there's also stuff in there that was like, oh, I've had these things since I was a kid. And this character is born in 1976, as we know from his email address, Dear Baby Jesus 76 at gmail.com.
76.
And
do you think you can email that address?
I've read some Reddit threads of people that have emailed that and got a reply from the character, from like the person in character.
Nice.
Which, if they were really in the bit, you get an auto response being like, unfortunately, the owner of this account has passed away.
Yep.
But whatever. Also, that's only the English translation. In the original, it's something in Spanish.
Yeah.
So whatever. But he has the Hulk hands, which, I mean,
it's way later. My little brother had those.
Yeah, those are the Marvel movie merchandise. So horseshit. But anyway, no, I think that stuff is already cool. I think the way that they set up this room as like, it's almost like a little oasis of like no stress in the middle of the movie. Obviously the stress is still sort of there lingering, but the way that it almost feels like the early bit of Fight Club where it's like the IKEA showroom living room thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like a little oasis of like, this is a nice place. We've moved from the stressful room where there's baby blood on the rug to, and like, it only reinforces the tension by having this incredible room that they've spent a long time like curating with all of his childhood toys and like the beautiful way that they've like created these like decals and like stuff on the wall. Like, it's obvious that so much thought has gone into this, and the baby is dead.
Yeah, it's not even bittersweet. It's just very macabre, isn't it? It's a very bright sort of nostalgic space for a kid who's dead. Oof.
Yeah, and like a thing that I didn't understand that I wanted to maybe press you on a little bit is we see a few minutes of flashback of, or is it flashback? Or are we just cutting to some children outside? I sort of read it as flashback as Jesus and his brother Carlos, like as children. But like, what is that?
I don't know. I thought it was just sort of context. I dwelled on that a little bit as well. I thought it was like a crazy little exterior shot for no reason. But yeah,
it's
I
sort of shot in a hazy way that makes you feel like it's a flashback. I thought.
Yeah. There's a couple of funny little moments like that. I don't really know what to make of that, to be honest. Do you think you would think blood was paint?
I think if you weren't especially invested in a situation,
you might.
I think that's a stupid lie that you're going to get called out on.
Yeah. Yeah, like
just be like, I cut my hand on the coffee table. It's the same. Just like be consistent with your lies.
Yeah. Why is it all over your face? Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go on.
Well,
I was just going to say, like, the fact that you have an idea like this for a movie, you sit there and you think, like, well, what if a guy fucking accidentally chopped his baby's head off and then had to hide it, and eventually it would all just go wrong anyway? And then you actually sort of thought, yeah, I'm going to fucking make it. That already is a giant leap, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
giant leap into the lots of people are going to hate me for doing this territory. But it's also, I think, quite an important leap. Like, the movie it's not tackling something light here. It's tackling a really difficult, deep, and powerful thematic experience from start to finish. And I think if you're going to assess a movie's value or critique it in any way, you've got to remember just making this is fucking gutsy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think that, like, there were some things that I read online that compared this to a Serbian film. And I think, without getting deep into a Serbian film, I think what they're finding in commonality there is there's some horrible things happen to a baby. And that the tension of that ramps up in a way. But I feel like that's much more harrowing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a Serbian film. I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I don't want to. I haven't read anything that makes me, keen to see it. It doesn't sound good. Whereas this, if you pitched it to me, you were like, listen, some fucked up shit happens in this movie. It's a little bit dark, but it's a little bit funny. It might remind you a bit of Stephen King. It's got great performances. But trust me, if you're feeling a little bit sensitive, it might not be the one for you. I would still watch it. I think the hook of a Serbian film is not the same. You can't pitch it in the same way.
No.
There are some like nauseating moments in this film when they're preparing the food and eating the food, and he's obviously spinning out thinking about his fucking decapitated kid. Some of that's a little bit whoa.
Like he when he cuts into the omelet or the tortilla or whatever, and it's like it's oozing blood, and then he puts it in his mouth, and all the blood's coming out of his mouth. Like that's I think that my main criticism, going back to what you were saying before, is that like I would like more of the insanity of that and watching him. Like most of the tension within the movie is a very real situational tension.
Yeah.
And I would maybe enjoy, and like, he doesn't want me to enjoy this movie, so that's maybe why it's not like that. But like, I would maybe enjoy more insane internal or representations of that internal tension that's happening within him.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I think I figured out why they can't do that. Not to like tell you how to think, but I thought if you had this sort of like slightly Bruce Campbell-esque freak out beginning, she would immediately check on the baby. I think like as soon as you start seeing big time cracks in his, demeanor and behavior and that can't be explained away by I hurt my hand and I'm a bit faint, she'd be like, I'm going to go fucking check that baby.
Well, I think like in the scene where he's eating the tortilla and it's all the blood's coming out of his mouth, like we see that happen, but when it comes back to him, like so in the room with them, he's just eating it normally and looking a bit disgusted.
More of that like Mandy style freak out. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's all internal. What we're seeing is the internal stuff. Yeah.
I found that quite tasteful, though. You got the baby bonnet hallucinations. You got some blood dripping. You've got some like sweats, and a minor moment of truthful, scathing attack at his brother, and it all kind of builds quite nicely. I don't know how much more I could take. I think my basic takeaway is there's a part of me that wants way more over the top intensity and ridiculous comedy, and there's a part of me that thinks this strikes the right tone for the movie that it is. It's very tasteful in its representation of how you would hide your decapitated child from your wife, and brother, and
it doesn't. It never feels gratuitous.
No, it doesn't. Weirdly, it does feel gross at times. Not through being gratuitous, but you are aware at multiple points in this movie, like, oh, I don't have to be watching this. Like, I could be doing something very different with my time.
I could turn it off and go for a walk.
Exactly, I could do that. Yeah, that's an option. But I think I'm not going to say like you walk away from it better for the experience. It takes you to a place that's tricky to confront, and it does so in a way that's easier to swallow than it could have been. So I do think it's a win.
Can I ask you? So the baby's name is Cayetano, right?
Mm-hmm.
The director's name is Cayetano.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is it?
Well, yeah, Kaya Casas.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure that's short for Cayetano.
Oh, I don't know.
I believe it is.
I'm too dumb. Yeah.
So, do you think there's because of the way that the characters slag off the name? Is it just like I'll give him my name so that no one can like come at me for slagging off this name? Or do you think there's something deeper going on there in terms of like the trauma?
I wish I was beheaded as a baby.
Yeah, maybe not. I wish I was beheaded as a baby, but maybe I have experienced some familial trauma as an infant and have carried this with me. I've not read anything that suggests that, but I wondered the significance of naming the dead baby. Like if you were like, here's my album of dead baby songs, it's called Sam Russo, The Dead Baby. People might want to unpack that a bit.
They might. They might treat it like all my other albums and not give a fuck. I think there's two things happening, right? It's either what's funnier than calling this dead baby Sam, or what am I really and deeply screaming for here? Is it acknowledgement of my childhood trauma? I'm going to call this baby Sam. It could be a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's a great move. I think it's funny to slag off your own name, and I think it's great to explore your childhood trauma by making yourself the character that gets beheaded as an infant.
I think in the opening scene where he's like, the dad is fully slagging off the name, and the salesman is like, "My name's Cayetano."
My name. Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it suits
he's like,
you.
Well, it suits you. I don't want my kid to end up like you." Yeah, pretty good stuff.
That's what I mean by like it's funny, but it's sort of it's not like
it's dry.
It's not a Will Ferrell comedy. It's like wry and dry.
Yeah, as Beavis and Butthead would say, droll, very droll. Yeah, it's good. Sorry, that's future Beavis and Butthead who say droll, very droll.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Let's sum her up.
Come on, man. Does that thing even work? No. There's nothing out there. It's just dead air.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's good. I just think I've read a lot of stuff online where people are like, this is an intensely horrible experience and it's going to stick with me forever. And maybe those people have kids and I don't.
They definitely have kids.
I mean, I find the experience of watching it harrowing, but I find the lie much more tense than the actual dead baby. The dead baby is a vehicle for the worst secret you can keep from your partner, right?
Yeah, agreed.
And the idea of that the secret is much more it's just way more horrible to me. Like obviously the secret being the worst thing that could ever happen is not an accident, but like I don't find it as harrowing as a lot of other people might, because I don't have a baby. I'm never going to have a baby. If I look at a baby, I'm not gonna hold that baby. I'm not a baby guy. So it's just like I'm removed from all of this. I just don't.
I think there is a basic level of human empathy that allows you to understand how this could be. Yeah, like obviously you know, I don't know how much it changes you on a sort of cellular level having a baby and then watching this movie. I feel like I can relate to people who have babies and watch this movie. It's an experience that suddenly feels a lot closer to home, probably. But yeah. I don't know. I'm just struggling, like, you know, this whole idea that you can no longer engage with films that have anything bad happening to kids because you have a kid. I always find it a little bit tenuous, but I can't go on, like, can't make a hard take on it because I can't experience the other side of it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. And I think that, like, I mean, there are plenty of people that have, so this movie was recommended to me by a person that I know has children.
Yeah, I get it. If your kid, if you've experienced the death of a child, you probably don't want to rush out and watch loads of movies about kids dying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it's a similar thing. Like if you have a living child, you don't really want to entertain yourself. You don't want to experience the death of children. But like, I don't want to, you know, I don't know, whatever.
I think maybe this is a good thing to engage with as to sort of reinforce, because if we're agreeing that the ultimate message of this movie is about, I mean, I think there are multiple about like not lying to your partner and also like taking responsibility for things that you do that effectively could ruin people's lives around you.
Yeah.
Like I think that obviously the central thing of the baby dying is hard to deal with, but I think that like as a parent or as maybe as anybody who lives in the world, we should be entertaining a movie like this where the message is, if you do something bad, take responsibility for it because it'll be better in the long run. I think that like these characters aren't. She's not like, oh, thank you for letting me live an hour longer without knowing that my baby was dead. Like that's not the takeaway here, is it?
Hollywood take, yeah.
Like, oh, I gave you 1 hour more of normal life.
Yeah, one more lovely meal.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I would never recommend this film to anyone. Look at it that way. It's just not a film I would ever recommend to anyone. But the central ideas, I think, are pretty universal, like Murphy's Law. You know, it's hard to tell someone, you want to watch a movie about not holding on to things too tightly because they can be taken away in a moment by a horrible accident? Watch this. I wouldn't do that. But I do like and respect the exploration of those themes. And I think it's important to acknowledge them. This isn't necessarily the vehicle that most people would enjoy those themes being explored through. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I think it means it's fucking mental and in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like out there being like, I've had special cards laminated, like go and watch The Coffee Table. But like, I think
I do, but I only give them to parents in pubs who have babies near the fire.
But I would recommend this, and I have recommended this.
Yeah.
And I picked it for this podcast, which means that like at least a section of our audience that haven't seen it may watch it.
Yeah.
And if you do that and you want to feedback, you can do so at the social media platform of your choice at FT Horror Show.
It's a fun one, isn't it? Because you're going to say 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah, well, it's not 10 out of 10 for me because it doesn't. No. It doesn't hit everything as horribly as I mean, I think it's ultimately by the Russo metric. They achieve everything that they are trying to achieve.
Sure.
But I find the ending, I think the tension is relieved in a way that isn't as satisfying to me. And another interesting thing is that like the character of Jesus obviously has a difficult relationship with this baby.
Yeah.
But through the act of accidentally decapitating his baby, sort of realizes that, oh no, I do love this baby.
He becomes a better father.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Yep, like, parenting tips from Jamie Carruthers.
Look, if you're feeling a kind of way about your child,
yep,
why not try?
Feeling disconnected from your newborn son? Disconnect his head from his body. See how you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a message in there, isn't there? Like, kind of. Yeah. All right, before you give your rating, is this your favorite Spanish movie that we've done on the pod? Because it's not mine.
When Evil Lurks was Spanish, wasn't it? Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite. Also,
Los Cronos Crímenes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Time Crimes is one of the best films I've ever seen. It's number one for me in the Spanish movie rotation here. When Evil Lurks is probably second.
I was just thinking about When Evil Lurks, and obviously a small child also gets mauled.
Fucking dogged off. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I think Time Crimes is a fantastic movie. It's definitely the one I've watched, the Spanish movie I've watched the most in my life.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. It was a great film.
Yeah. Do you think about it every time you see a
Go
creepy
back in
guy
time
in the
and
woods?
look at boobs. Yeah. I do actually, yeah.
Okay, a rating. It's hard to rate because it's a good movie that achieves what they want, but leaves me feeling a bit sort of Stephen King'd out by the end. Do you know what I mean? It has the sort of the Stephen King deflation ending.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 screws.
Wow. Exactly the number of screws that were missing from the table, resulting.
Yeah. It's 1 screw short of a coffee table. That's what this movie is.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
What about you, Sam? Anything you want to say before you give us your rating?
Yeah. Same as you, really. It's not the ending that lets me down. It's just the slight lack of edge in some areas. I feel like it's a sharp blade, but it's not quite as finely honed as I would like it to be, maybe. And I'm not sure why, but I did really enjoy it. I would give it 7.5 leaps from a balcony out of 11.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So obviously I mentioned early on that like I had that experience where the first time I was watching it, I was so stressed that I had to go out and take a walk. And very similarly to my experience with The Woodsman, when I came back and I rewatched it and I made it through the tension point that sent me out the first time.
Yeah.
It never reached that level of tenseness again.
Sure.
Like it
you could have hacked it. You just sort of needed a palate cleanse.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like the way that it like builds and releases tension throughout the movie is quite clever. And to get to the point on first watch where you're like, okay, this is too much and I have to go. I wonder how many other people have had that experience with this. Of just being like, okay,
oof, need a break.
I need to at least make a cup of tea or something.
Yeah. I think it's fine to do that. You get to choose how you watch a film. If it's fucking you up, you take a break. It's I do quite often think about, there's a lot of like press photography around The Woodsman where Kevin Bacon's trying to look all cool. And I do think to myself, you're a pedo in that film. How do you show up on the red carpet and give it the big smiles and the finger guns? It's kind of a weird pitch. What a phenomenal thing to do in your career, though. Play a child molester. In 2004.
In a movie that is quite empathetic to people that have gone to prison for these sort of sex offenses.
Yeah.
Like
big move.
Yeah.
Talk about like having friends who've got kids. Like if you're Kevin Bacon and people are like, what are you working on? It's this movie where I'm a pedophile who's just got out of prison and everyone, I'm trying to push the message that like, we're all human and we need to be tolerant and back rehabilitation of, brave.
There was like around the time that this came out, or at least around the time that I watched it, there was a Channel 4 documentary of the Woodsman. I mean, there was a Channel 4 documentary about like the good pedophiles who people who are aware that they have these feelings and these desires, and they're like, these are the steps that I take to not act on them.
Sure.
And it's like, it's such a murky, horrible place to exist.
Yeah. And then you kind of put your career on the line, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that, Kevin. You could just fucking be in a teen comedy or something. Like, just slip into your Eugene Levy era.
You can just continue advertising EE Mobile to me.
Mobile or whatever the fuck it is. Exactly, yeah. But he didn't.
But yeah, like these in this documentary, like there were a lot of them that were like, I go to the police and I'm like, I'm having these thoughts, and they're like, you've not committed a crime yet.
Yeah. The police are like, have you ever thought about joining the police? Here's your application form.
Yeah. If you're also incredibly violent, then we'll take you. But
yeah. You've nearly got what it takes, kid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah. That was a nice way to round out a conversation about a lovely movie and a great time.
Yeah, all the warm feelings and mate. Yesterday I was literally stroking baby donkeys, and today you're making me talk about beheaded children.
So you went from the donkey sanctuary. You went from the donkey sanctuary to the coffee table.
I had to. I didn't have a choice. Fuck's sake! What a day ruiner.
I mean, again, there are reviews I've read of this of like people being like, I didn't know what this was about, and I was on a date and I put this on, and it just it ruined our night. And like, I can see that happening, but I don't have that relationship with this movie. It's just it's a movie to me.
It's a piece of art that you watch in isolation alone.
Yeah.
Don't slap it on when you're trying to get laid.
It's not a date movie. I'll say that.
No. It's
not like, oh, the kid's taking a nap, so I'll just like slap something on to pass the time. It's not one of those.
It's not those, no. But it's an investment of time and energy.
But I don't find it as harrowing as these people.
Me neither. I'll be honest. I don't either. It's
I sort of feel like I may be missing out as a result.
Well, you know what you got to do? Just go have a kid just so you can be traumatized by movies where kids get hurt or killed.
Okay. I mean, that seems like a good a reason as any.
I know people with kids with worse reasons for having kids.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. And if you want to see photos of those people, go to @SamRussoMusic, where you can...
It's mostly horses and donkeys right now. But yeah, please do be my guest.
And you can see stuff about your upcoming tours. Do you want to tell us anything about your upcoming tours?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
You can follow me. Go on.
No, I was going to say you can follow Jamie at Carruthers with a Z and a C and an A and 2 R's and a U and an R and a T and H and no E.
And that's on Instagram. You can follow me on Letterboxd at JamieFT. You can follow me into the bathroom with a baby in your local pub.
Yeah, you can piss through Jamie's letterbox at his home address.
Yeah, and we've not mentioned Red Scare Industries, redscare.net. Go there, get records. I got a big package of records come the other day, and they're all great. And you could do the same thing.
You could.
And so there's nothing else to say then, except my name's Sam Russo, and I decapitated a baby. Sam.
My name's Sam Russo, and I decapitated.
You can't even say it.
My body's not letting me say it. My name's Sam Russo, and I decapitated. Wow. My name's. One more time, boys. Why names? Fucking hell. My name's Sam Russo, and I decapitated a baby Sam.
A baby Sam. We're back into the Oedipus. Not Oedipus. He didn't decapitate a baby.
We don't know that.
We'll see you on the next final transmission in a few weeks. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.